before we get started with this video, I want to go ahead and thank you guys for watching. If you would please don't forget to rate this video. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. That really helps with YouTube doing whatever YouTube does. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Like I said, thanks for watching. We just finished spreading manure. I got the Artex parked there. We're about to wash it. Right now, Case is going to give me a ride back to up to the Dodge to get the bumper trailer, or the little bumper pull trailer, and the 2-inch pump. We're going to throw the water or the suction hose off into the pond and use the 2-inch pump like a 2-inch trash pump to wash all the manure off the Artex. Artex is going to get parked for a couple weeks while we're plowing and seeding and all that stuff. So might as well go ahead and wash it now, and that way it stays nice and clean. Let's go.
Yeah, this is fast.
So we got a pond, we got a 2-inch pump, 50 foot of 2-inch hose, a nozzle, and that we're gonna see how this works out. Either I'm gonna hang on to this and go flying, or yeah, ain't no telling. Never done this before. It's gonna be first attempt. See how this works out.
What do you mean by flying?
Because of the pressure of the hose, I go flying.
Like you flying?
Yeah. What? Where are you running to?
What? See?
Bunch of crap went up in the nozzle. Okay, we're gonna have to do it without the nozzle.
Oh! Dad,
Watch out.
is the thing so powerful when it's...
I'm not driving a Dodge yet. Well, we at least knocked some of the big chunks off. In my head, that would have gone a lot smoother, but I didn't think. Well, I knew it was going to be tough, but I didn't realize how bad that was going to hurt my back. And my arms are wore out from trying to just hang on to the hose. You really need like 2 or 3 people holding the hose and maneuvering it where you can do it. But still, it's just too much water. If you get a little bit of a kink, it's gonna blow it. So, bad idea. All right, so it's the next day. It's already late afternoon. We got the Artex all washed up. We got it unhooked. We're needed to go. So it's gonna be sitting for a little while. We got the disc hooked up. We're pulling it now. A week or two ago, I guess 2 weeks ago, we got the disc all ready to go. Got it greased up, checked the tires, all that good stuff. Had to replace 2 bearings and had to put 2 U-bolts on that were broken. One was broken, or no, one was missing and one was broken. That's what it was. And so we got those fixed. Disc is running pretty good right now. We've been out here for about an hour. Made it just about all the way across the field by myself, and then Jeremy showed up out here wanting to run it a little bit and figuring out this GPS. And so we'll end up taking turns. You know, if I'm feeding and he's done for morning chores or whatever you want to call them, he can come plow, and then in the afternoon, if he's got to go, you know, haul manure or whatever, then I can plow, and all just take turns. Anyway, so we're figuring the GPS out. We've never used an Easy Guide. Easy Guide 250 is what we're using, and so it took a little bit of setting it up and getting used to it and figuring it out. Right now the tractor is pulling awesome. I don't even think we'd be in this field with a 7800, would we? No, we'd be stuck. We're barely spinning. There's a few wet spots that we had to feather the disc up a little bit just to get on through it. There's actually a few places where they're standing in water and we've gone right through them. This is the field that in the previous video that we left the ruts and there was standing water and all that good stuff in it. I came to this one first because I wanted to get it opened up a little bit so to help dry it out some, so that we can get through it better than we would if we would just let it sit. If we let it sit, it wouldn't never dry out. So anyway, that's what we're doing. It's discing really good. Like, we've only made the first pass so far. This is about 15 acres here, and then we have other fields that are going to be needing to be disced too. So we're looking to do about 150 acres altogether. We're going to do about 50 acres here at the dairy, and then we're going to do 100 acres of some ground that we rent, and so that will go in last after we cut the triticale off. We'll get all this plowed up and just see where we are in timeline. I'd like to drill it all at the same time. You know, 150 acres would probably take 2, maybe 3 days. You know, not full days obviously, but 2 or 3 afternoons to get it all drilled. So I would like to try and do it all at the same time, but it's all going to kind of depend on what's going on with the triticale and rain and all that stuff. We do have some rain in the forecast. I believe Monday and maybe Wednesday. I don't think it's going to be a whole lot. See, right here we got a little bit of water standing along with this hole that's always been here. I'd like to get that thing filled in, but it might be too wet this year to do that. So anyway, that's what we got going on. We'll just keep going back and forth. I'm sure here in a minute Jeremy's going to have to go and work the feed lane and do whatever he does at night. And we're going to at least get all the way back across this. I'm skipping every other line or every 2 or 3 lines when I turn around, and then going back and filling them in. And I'd like to get all the way across this field one time at least, and that way it'll dry up and open up. And then maybe tomorrow Jeremy can haul more manure out here. There's probably at least 20 loads in the pit behind the feed lane that can be hauled out here, and I'd like to get that empty out here on this field, just because everything else that's close by gets a lot of natural manure on it from the sacrifice, and we did spread all the hay waste on it and all that good stuff, and so this field would just get a lot of the manure right out of the pit behind the feed lane. So we're gonna keep going, and my arm's getting tired, so we're gonna put the camera away for a little bit. See Mom. Yeah, I'll probably be out here to midnight. Yeah, I'll probably be here like 6 in the morning. Thought he'd never leave. Alright, let's get after it. I like to set this up a little bit to run a little smoother. So what I want to do is, let's see, first thing I want to do is lower the plow and count how long it takes. So 1, 2, 3, 3 seconds. So go in my settings on remote 1. Let's see, 60 seconds. Hello? Okay, well anyway, so on the raising it up, hang on, God, I got it straight. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 seconds on raising it up. And we want to set that timer. So awesome. Okay, so what I done, that'll work. So what I've done is I got my remote 1 that's raising the plow up and down over here to my multi-controller, and I set a timer so that the motor runs that long. So when I lower it down, it goes automatically, and then the pump shuts off. And then when I raise up, it'll do that. And then the pump shuts off. Really, it's like a second too long. But that's fine. We can work with that, I think. So, I can go back in here and set the remote 1. Could go like 90% oil flow, which will just slow it down some, which is a little quick. See how that works. Just so that pump's not running. Yeah, that's pretty smooth right there. Yeah, I like that. Alright, that's cool. So now I can just press the button and then work GPS instead of trying to hold the button or working this. And then, like when Jeremy was running, he kept leaving the remote on, so the pump was running, and what is going to happen is going to blow a hydraulic hose. So I've made those adjustments, and now we're all good. So that's awesome. I didn't know I could do that until just now. So as I pull in here and I get straightened out, I can hit the button on the controller and turn it down, turn my GPS on, and then I can just go back to doing whatever. For one pass, that back there looks pretty freaking good. We're really getting this plow buried in. I mean, I don't think I've ever been able to pull it this buried in into the ground. So, especially on this softer ground, which was the main point of getting this tractor. We haven't planted sorghum in probably, I'm gonna say, probably 6 years. In the last few years that we did it, it was just a real challenge with the weather. And you know, there was years that we were double cropping 80 acres down the road here with ryegrass, Tam Tebow ryegrass and some sorghum. And there was years that we actually watched the ryegrass turn brown and burn up and have to bush hog it because it was too wet to get to it. And then there was years that we planted the sorghum, and the last year that we did it, it was super dry, and we didn't get hardly anything out of it. So kind of just got away from it and quit doing it. And we were getting way more production out of our Tifton 85, and so we started really pushing for it more and trying to get more ground into Tifton 85. But the thing is that's a whole nother, that's putting all your eggs in one basket. So if you have a drier summer like we had the last 2 years, you just don't get it, and or you just don't get enough of it. Really, you still can get it, but it's not enough of it. And then also the quality is just I'm going to say harder to achieve off Bermuda grass that way, and so that is what last year and going into the fall, we planted that triticale. I'd never planted triticale before, just done ryegrass and cereal rye, and so we did the triticale one to kind of experiment with it and see how it's going to do. So far it looks pretty good, and it looks like it's going to work out just fine. Another wet spot right here. I didn't really have to feather it up at all. Anyway, so as of how it looks now, I plan on trying to do a whole lot more triticale next year. Maybe up to a couple 100 acres instead of just 100 acres. And then it'd be nice if we can afford to seed and we can do about 300 acres. That'd be great. And then get all this sorghum in, and then maybe double crop some of it, which a lot of it, or not a lot of it, about 30 acres of it is our sacrifice fields. So the idea there is to help try to remove and get rid of the common Bermuda grass, which is worthless, and would make a hell of a yard around your house, but nothing really for production for grazing cows or milling hay off of it. Actually, cows don't even like eating it. So in the years past, we have sacrificed some fields, sprayed them with Roundup, killed them off, and went in and re-sprigged with Tifton 85, and then in a few years the common's coming back in and taking over again. So one of our thoughts or one of our ideas is, okay, well, we'll sacrifice those fields, and what I mean by that is that's where the cows go and wait while the ryegrass is growing, or the cereal rye is growing. So usually half of October and November, they're in those fields 24 hours a day, eating hay free choice and getting their TMR on the feed lane. And then after that, they go, or when the grazing is ready, winter pasture, they'll spend 12 hours out grazing different fields, and at 12 hours at night, they'll go back to the sacrifice fields until it's growing fast enough that we can graze 24 hours. So basically, we're just saying, take this group of cows, put them in this field, they're going to destroy it, they're going to crap all over it, and we're sacrificing it. And we pick our lowest productive fields, our fields that need a little higher fertility in them. And basically, you probably couldn't haul enough or as much manure as those fields have on them now. And then so disking them up and putting them into sorghum will help maybe completely eliminate the common Bermuda grass, because the sorghum's going to grow hopefully 8 foot tall or so, and it's going to really kind of keep anything from growing into it, and hopefully that'll forgot to turn better, and then that'll help eliminate it. And then next year those fields will get sprigged back into Tifton 85 while we plant sorghum into the the new sacrifice fields that will be sacrificed this coming fall. So that's kind of the whole idea on that. And a lot of our hay fields, you know, we get a grass called bahia, and bahia is horrible. It's hard to cut, and it just, you know, nobody likes it. So this field here, it was probably 60% bahia, and this is going to help get rid of it too. And then we have that field across town that we're not completely certain that we're going to be disking it up for sorghum. Well, I don't think we're going to do all of it. It's 125 acres. We may do maybe 80 acres or so right now is what we're thinking. Probably 10 years ago we had a severe hog problem right there, and everything that they tore up, the coastal is gone, and it's just really turned to kind of a smorgasbord of different grasses growing on it. And so we want to just kind of get rid of it, or get rid of all them other grasses, and hopefully get some either Tifton 85 or jigs planted on that field. So kind of what I'm thinking is, if we did 80 or 100 acres of it, we could you know, plow that this year, and then next year go back in and sprig 20 of those acres and plow up 20 more of it, and then just kind of keep doing that over for the next few years, and then eventually it'll all be done and sprigged into some really good either jigs or Tifton 85. And then by then we'll have more ground here cleared and covered in manure, the woods that I'm talking about, and we'll be able to plant those in sorghum and have you know, be growing hopefully about 12 tons in an acre of sorghum, and have practically no hauling cost on hauling it in and making a pile. So that's all the plan, or what we're working towards and what we're moving towards. So Wes kind of gave me a deadline, which I completely agree with. The faster we can get this in the ground, the better, because it just seems like sometimes flip of a switch, snap of the fingers, we turn dry. So from now on, every day is almost counting against us till we get dry, and we don't want to do that. So we're hopefully shooting for putting seeds in the ground in about 6 days from today, which yesterday he said, oh, you need to think about having seeds in the ground in about 7 days, and then most of the day he kept me tied up with other stuff, so I don't know how that's going to work. But between me and Jeremy, and probably even Wes, which I think Wes, he's almost got the Kenworth done, and he's just working on the bright lights on the truck, and he needs to get the drill out and get it serviced and get it ready to go. So hopefully in about a week we got all this ground ready, and we're putting seeds in the ground. The seeds are already sitting in the shop, so they've been there for 2 weeks or now, 3 weeks now. So those need to get in the ground quick. So as we make progress through here, we'll keep making videos on what's going on and how we're getting along, and we'll just keep plugging along. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.